On a quiet corner in downtown Greeley, there is life-changing work happening, and families in crisis, with nowhere else to go, are finding support and hope for a better future. For close to 30 years, the Greeley Transitional House has been a refuge for families struggling to find a pathway out of their temporary homelessness.
Homeless families may be the most invisible and yet most vulnerable population in our community. While they may not appear to be homeless, in fact they're invisible to us because they're families we stand next to in the grocery store every day, they are vulnerable because children need to be in their own home and have a stable environment so that they do not experience the health problems, behavior problems, school problems that statistically we have seen increase when families are not in their own stable household.
There's a lot of homelessness in Greeley, and one of the things I found when I moved back to Greeley after having been gone for a while and living in a couple of large cities is that the homelessness isn't as visible here as it is in a lot of cities, and so it's not on people's radar. They don't think about that there are homeless people in the community, but there definitely are, and especially the families who often are living in cars or living in friends or relatives on their couches or their floors and having to move every few days. And so that's one of the big problems that Transitional House helps people deal with.
I think we're most well known as being a homeless shelter for families, but I think the work that we do outside of just the emergency shelter is the most important work that we do.
GTH is much more than just an emergency shelter. In addition to the warm bed and a meal, we have programs that give the families the tools they need to achieve a more longer-term sustainable solution to their situation. We have programs that help the families with parenting classes, nutrition, credit counseling, advice on gaining employment, and all of that builds the foundation.
Every day, a team of dedicated, compassionate, and professional staff members help people to transition from crisis to stability with a program of education, encouragement, and assistance.
So we employ several case managers. That is the heart of what we do. We have a case manager that works with the families while they're here at the shelter. We have a case manager that works specifically with the children and the youth to make sure they are staying stable in school and that they have the resources that a homeless child needs to have. I think the most important work we do occurs after the families leave the shelter. Through the years, we have developed several transitional housing programs that provide long-term case management, financial assistance, and housing support in order to ensure that the families remain stable and supported, and that they don't fall back into homelessness.
I see Maria on an every week basis. She's got me in touch with a lot of the resources out there and setting goals. And one of them is going to school.
To reestablish our home life, get back into a routine with our children as far as giving them some kind of stability.
They have helped us a lot.
A lot.
More than what we expected. We didn't think that we were going to be so blessed like this.
The most recent addition to the Transitional Housing Toolkit is the acquisition of the 8-unit Camfield Corner Apartments in North Greeley. Through a partnership with the City of Greeley and the Greeley Urban Renewal Authority, owners of the property, Transitional House now offers managed apartments where families leaving the shelter can live for up to 2 years, receiving case management and support while developing the housing history needed to move into the private rental market in the future.
I especially have a soft spot for children, and the thought that there's children and families out there that don't have a roof over their head or food to eat was heartbreaking to me. I feel like I'm in a fortunate position in that I can support the Greeley Transitional House, and I would encourage everyone out there to support the Greeley Transitional House as well if they're in that position and help us make a difference in our community.
We are very grateful to the local community for supporting us for almost 30 years. We receive very great support from our business community through sponsorships. We have many individual donors who support the work we do, and we just want to make sure they know that we're very appreciative of this support. They are our partners in helping us to help homeless families.